Oh, crap. Damn, I should have read this first. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. Shit. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm trying a new lash booster. I'm reactive to rice, and for some reason, like I put it on my eyes. I just wanted to condition my eyelashes. And then after I'd put it on, I decided to read the the ingredients. One of the largest amounts is rice bran. Shit. I'm reactive to rice. Oh god. My eyes might be swollen later. So, all right, let's do our reading. It's gonna be fine. It's already starting to swell. It's okay. So, I'm doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. Um, it's okay if you're not Piscean. This is really not just for Pisceans. It's also for empaths. Okay. You're probably an empath and you probably need messages from your soul. So I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told they think you already know. I don't know what they think you know, but they think you know. Oh my gosh. No, I don't need to wash it off. It's okay because something told me not to actually put it on the lash line itself, just on the lashes. Yeah, something told me. Maybe it was my survival instinct. And then my mascara on top it's waterproof, so it encases the whole thing. I should probably put more mascara just to make sure. All right. We'll see. If it starts to really bother me, then I'm going to have to go wash it off. Okay. So how are you guys doing? Let's just get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they think you know. I don't know. Pisces, empaths. I mean, do you get tired of people just assuming that you know things and then they don't communicate because they think you know. They think you know. I don't know. Newsflash for people who are cross-watching. If your Piscean or empath is anything like me, if I remind you of them, we don't want to know anything that doesn't come out of your mouth. Like, you need to communicate with us because we're not going to know. And whatever we think we know, we're like, I don't know. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I mean, unless you're malicious, then we're like, oh, that person, hell no. Then we're like that, okay? But if you're talking about love, if you're talking about relationships, friendships, we are really, really good at telling ourselves stories about all kind of shit that is so distorted. Okay. Nose is starting to run. Shit. All right. Okay. But we tell ourselves distorted stories about everything. You're too busy today. We can feel it. We can feel you busy. We can feel you thinking of us. And then we go and like, oh no, he's probably just ignoring me. He probably doesn't want to hear from me anymore. It's an annoying little quirk. It is. But you need to know this because this assumption that we know how you feel, we know everything. We're your magical mage, we're your, wonderful witch, whatever the hell, however the hell you want to see it. We don't always believe what we know. So I'm just gonna grab a stack. I don't have it in me to count. I don't have it in me to count. I just don't. All right. Let's do this deck. Wow, I'm finally starting to bond with that deck. I've been averse to it for so long. I've had it for a while. First, I didn't open the deck for a good hot minute. This deck. And then after I did, I was like, no, you don't feel right to me. I'm finally bonding with it. Finally. Okay. And let's just grab a stack like that. No more counting. All right. Are you guys ready to get started? Oh, let's grab some witchy stuff because I'm in the process of embracing my witchy past. Okay. Dedication. All right, here goes, guys. Okay. Let one more fall out. There you go. And then 2. Okay. Here goes. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Yo. Okay. Right. Just utter bullshit is what it is. Whoever this is for you, you guys have been in cycles for quite some time. Okay. This is what the two of you do. You go through these cycles of like coming closer together and then being ripped apart over and over and over. They're just cycles, the waxing and the waning and the waxing. They're cycles. And this is just kind of probably how you guys know each other to be. Well, this cycle is about to intensify. It's about to get really, really crunk. That's so old. It's about to get real intense. It's probably, the intensity is probably going to start with one person. And because of the intuitive, psychic, telepathic connection, it's probably then going to affect both of you after a certain period. Now, this process is going to continue and the intensification is going to become fever pitched until a full on like obsession, a full on fixation becomes rebirthed around Christmas time because the Yule, and then full on daily observations of you by summer. Okay. Watchtower of the South. Or it's going to be you doing all of this. They wish. I'm joking. It's either them or you. Someone's gonna. Nothing like cat hair in the morning. That's nasty. I just had cat hair. Okay. So by next summer, this will be in full swing again. When I say full swing, I'm talking about the fixation. I'm not necessarily talking about the two of you in a full communication, full, whatever it is. This is, y'all, aren't y'all sick of this? Are you not sick of this? Are you not so sick? This shit is terminal at this point. I mean, can you just please stop rebirthing yourself? Just stop. Send them to Mordor. I don't send them to Mordor and may the wraiths get them. I don't know. This is like a screaming ring wraith type of annoying. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Send them to Mordor, fucking hobbits. I don't know. It felt right. It felt right to say that. Tell them to get the fuck out the tower and go to Mordor if they love you. I don't know, you guys. I'm sick of this fucking topic. all ring wraithy and like seeking you because you are their precious. They're either a ring wraith or Gollum. I prefer ring wraith. I don't know why Gollum is so fucking dishonorable. At least you know the ring wraith. Like that's your intent. Gollum, hello Smeagol, trying to pretend like you're all nice and loyal now. No, you disloyal motherfucker. You just after the precious. They're after your precious. I'm just saying. We all looking for a Samwise Gamgee, but all we got is a Gollum or a ring wraith. I'm just saying. I'm just saying you need to elevate yourself to that whole Gandalf the White rather than Gandalf the Gray, because Gray really he was not banging like that. Like, I'm just saying, this is a whole, like, you were just given an entire like life advice moment right there. At least you know what the ring wraith wants. Stop with the whole you're going to rehabilitate Gollum. That's what they thought. And what he do? He ended up biting the whole fucking finger off. You don't need a Gollum in your life. And I don't know if you know what a Gollum is. They ended up calling him Gollum, but his real name was Smeagol. But if you look up what a Gollum is, that's some intense shit. This person is dedicated to this. Legolas. I'm just saying he don't fuck around. Legolas, he got an attitude problem. And he is handsome enough to justify an attitude problem. I don't know. Are all elves like that? I'm asking Michael. Okay. He says, drink your coffee. Okay. So this person's dedicated. They're really just dedicated to whatever this is. I don't even know if they realize how dedicated they are to these cycles of suffering. Suffering cycles. That's what they are. Suffering cycles. Are you sick and tired of suffering? Because someone got to cut the rope. Someone got to cut the rope. Cut the rope. Or else, you know how this ends up. Smeagol bites your finger off. Smeagol bites your finger off in the middle of the volcano. You know what I'm saying? The cycle has to end at some point. Just got serious. I like all my fingers. I like them all. I'm not willing to give up no fucking finger for a fucking Smeagol. I'm just saying. Maybe for a Legolas. I don't know. Something about him having an attitude, shooting arrows at all kind of shit. I'm just saying. And then, ladies, why is it a goal of yours to fucking find yourself an orc? They are fallen. They are fallen freaking elves. You know that, right? They're mutilated elves. Don't go for like the lesser elf realm. Go for the actual like quality elves with attitude. No, they didn't all have attitude, right? No, I think they all had attitude. Just not all of them were allowed to speak. That's fine. That's fine. So, internal explorer, allowing yourself to explore all of your internal pieces. It's okay for you to understand and accept that you're primarily shadow. That's okay. That is okay. All right. It is not a goal to appear of the light. It's not. It's not of the goal. It's not the goal to appear as though you're of the light, but really not. And that's kind of just how you mess yourself up. Trying to play the role of something that you aren't. Just be who you are. Okay. So Pisces and empaths. What the fuck is this? Pisces and empaths. Do you want someone who falls in love with the aesthetics of you? Or do you want someone who can actually see beyond the aesthetic, beyond all the different personalities, and and just like sees the core of you and doesn't want you to change, just wants you. What do you want? Have you thought and have you ever sat down and thought about what you actually want? What are you looking for? And don't tell me like all of these really just trivial things. I want someone who meditates. I want someone who eats the same thing I do. I want someone who reads about chakras like me. Like, that's trivial stuff. That's trivial. You think you're going to a build a bear, you're going to build yourself a little bear. I mean, you can't even pick a puppy and have all of those little things that you thought you were going to have. A puppy will do whatever the F it want to do. You know, my brother's dog, we went on a trip and then we got home and he has reading glasses that are expensive as fuck. I just about died. So his dog is hella big, okay? Demo is big AF. And he was pissed. Demo was pissed about something. We don't know. He didn't talk to us. He didn't express himself to us. He was pissed about something. And so what he did while everyone was doing their own thing, he took a bag off the dining table, went through the bag to get the other bag that was in the bag. And then he got out the eyeglass case specifically, opened that, took out the glasses, and chomped the shit out of it. Yeah, he's a Borble. He's like some African Mastiff or something like. I don't know. He looks like a gigantic golden retriever. No, Labrador retriever. Yeah, everyone was pissed. Yeah, he did that. For why? What the fuck were you mad about, Demo? Yeah. My son's AirPods were missing. And then they found it. He was mad at my son for something. And he chewed an AirPod. So for the longest time, my son only had one. And I was like, should we get you another? And he's like, no. Okay, we can't do this. You need two. We can't do just one. You can't control who a person is. You can't control another sovereign being. You just can't. You know, are you looking for a love that's like you're training a puppy? Because if that's your goal, you're going to make this person into your dream person. You're going to miserably fail. It's going to be a failure. And if that's hurting your feelings that I'm saying that, then probably your intention is not honorable. And you probably need to hurt in that way for a second so that you can understand how hurtful that behavior is. It's not okay. It's not okay to make it your goal to make someone into who you tell them to be. I know you don't want to hear that. If that's what you were thinking, like, if I could just love him, then I can heal him, AKA turn him into who I want him to be. You can't. That's not love. That's not real love. That's some controlling type stuff. And if you have control problems, struggles with control, that's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. It really doesn't. I have issues with control. I've been working on it for a very, very long time. I realized whenever I get into this place where I feel like I have to control my environment, why is that? It's because I feel out of control inside myself. It's because I feel unsafe. Something has triggered me and, restarted this chaotic type of energy in me. I am too afraid to identify what that is and work on it. And because I feel so chaotic and unsafe within myself, I have to control my external environment. When you have issues with control, it's not just you have issues. Let's go beyond the stigma. Okay? It's time for you to recognize it's because internally you feel out of control. You feel unheard. You feel disempowered. Change those things, and you won't need to control your external environment. You can then begin to free people who you love, who you believe you love. You can free them to exist however they are. You really can. It's not that you deserve to be alone and you're a bad person. No, it's none of that. Release the stigma. Release the stigma. Really take a good hard look at what it is, what's going on inside you. Really observe without condemning yourself. No, like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Stop that shit. Look at what's going on inside you. Why do I feel this way? What caused me to feel this way? What can I do to correct the feelings that I have? Do I just need to acknowledge it? Or do I need to do some sort of exercise technique to rebalance myself? And then do it. See, a lot of people think that just because you know what you need to do, that's enough. No, you have to actually implement the solution. Knowing the solution is wonderful, but that's just one component. If you want a full resolution, you have to implement that solution. See, the world knows what the problems are. We all know what the problem is. We all know what the potential feasible solutions are as well. Well, then, Emmy, why is the world still the way it is? Because no one wants to fucking implement the solutions. We're so busy debating about whose solution is more right that no solution has been implemented. So then what do you think the solution is? Anarchy. I'll survive anarchy, I'll tell you. I was conditioned to survive all sorts of different types of situations. I was conditioned to from childhood. Now, if we're really going to use that as some sort of metaphor, anarchy requires a lot of like rebelliousness. It does. It requires a lot of courage. Do you have that level of courage to rebel against the programming that's been installed within you regarding relationships? Because I mean, and if we're going to really, really dive into that, the truth of anarchy is freedom, free to be yourself. But in order for you to be free to be yourself and to live peacefully, you have to be willing to wage a war. You know why I know I would survive anarchy? Because I will defend my family and my space at any cost. I'm willing to pay any price to make sure my family and my space is secure and safe. Most people at this point in our journey would not survive anarchy. They just wouldn't. We have become so codependent with the very situations that have oppressed us. We've become very codependent with that. If you can't live off grid, meaning no credit cards, no nothing, no electric, no nothing for a prolonged period, I know I can. You probably can't survive anarchy. So if that's not a feasible solution, what do you suggest? And when I say anarchy, you also have to be able to grow your own food. I know how to do that. You have to be able to raise your own livestock. I know how to do that. And I'm not talking about just read it in a book. I actually know how to do that. Are you able to grow your own soul? Because if you're going to experience some sort of like spiritual internal relationship anarchy, you have to have all those components. You can't be like, I'm going to rebel, but I have no way of providing for myself, creating safe situations, securing my space. I have no way of doing that. So then what are you fighting against then? You don't want to be controlled, because anarchy is the destruction and undoing, the deconstruction of that attempt to control, right? It's living autonomously, but you don't know how to live autonomously. You've been, we're speaking all hypothetical, okay? You've been so accustomed to someone else telling you what to do and you don't like it, but you've never actually allowed yourself to decide for yourself what to do. So then how does that work? It doesn't. Because what ends up happening, just like what ended up happening with our country, is that we allegedly freed ourselves, liberated ourselves from the British Crown. And then instead of governing ourselves as sovereigns of the land, they were like, oh, Washington, you should be our king. He's like, I'm fucking good. No, I'm good. Yeah. You free yourself from religion. What do? You go to another quasi religion, spiritualism. Like, no, I'm free. I'm spiritual. But I listen to this person who live streams and they wrote books and they have like seminars and they now tell me what to do. I don't listen to the priest anymore. Now it's this one because this is like, it's the same fucking thing. Are you doing this in your relationships where you're going from one bad situation to another bad situation to another bad situation to another bad situation, never really taking the time to analyze, why am I choosing this consistently? Because I think if you choose to analyze, you will begin to see, wow, I'm looking for the people who can punish me because I feel like I need to be punished. Yeah. Are you continuing cycles from childhood? Are you choosing people who, in some low key way, they behave and have the characteristics of maybe the parent that you wanted the approval from? That's a hard pill to swallow. But if you need your medicine, swallow it. Yeah, we have to. We have to. We have to do what we need to do to become well again. We have to. When my teen my teen does not like to take meds. So when he gets sick, he ends up coughing for a while or whatever. We usually all just will take the specific supplements that our family uses, and most illnesses it doesn't go past 3 days, and it's usually just like sniffles or a little bit more intense in sniffles, but it's not full on laid out sick AF. Oh no. And we hadn't been sick in I think like 2 years. So we got a cold. The whole family got sick a couple months back. And everyone is finally better. He's still coughing like a dry cough. And I asked him, did you take your meds? And he just, and I've been like, okay, fine, whatever. You're old enough to choose for yourself. Until finally I was like, I don't give a shit if you don't want to take it. Go to the table, take it right now. But mom, no, don't but mom me. You need to take it. I'm sick and tired of hearing you coughing. You know what it feels like as a mother to hear you barking. I didn't give birth to a puppy. Yeah, no, I told him, I don't care. Take the damn medicine or we take you to the doctor. And they give you medicine anyways. So take it. And he took it. And then the cough stopped. Sometimes we have to tell ourselves, if this is your medicine, take it. If you've spent weeks, months, years with the same symptoms, brokenheartedness, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of sovereignty, take your medicine. Take your medicine and move past that illness. If you begin to see the choices that you make could potentially be some form of illness, then you'll begin to understand, okay, maybe I need some medicines, maybe I need some supplements, maybe I need more rest, maybe I need this, maybe I need that. Rather than, oh, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You are a whole person. Nothing is wrong with you. The way you see is causing you to believe something is wrong with you. The way you perceive because of what you've been through in life is causing you to continue to choose the same things over and over. That does not tell me something is wrong with you. That tells me you are in a cycle. You need to become aware of the cycle so that you can choose to exit that cycle. And that's it. That's it. And people say I'm fucking harsh and need to be mindful of people's hearts. No, I need to be honest with you. Nothing's wrong with you. Oh, but Emmie, I have mental illness. Okay, how'd they prove that shit? How'd they prove that? Because they had a checklist? They had a checklist and you had all these symptoms? Okay, well, what if you do the internal work, the shadow work, and those symptoms no longer exist? You still want to believe you're broken? That you're mentally ill? Okay, how about I tell you this? I 100% feel it's so fucking unfair of you to expect yourself to never feel anything. Would you ask a child to never have a moment where they cry because they're tired and they don't realize they're tired? They don't realize they're hungry. Is that fair? I mean, if you saw me beating a child, screaming at that child, and I knew they were hungry, but I didn't like, hey, I think you're hungry. I think it's time to eat. That's not fair. When you have feelings that are so big and you can't give yourself the permission to assess what you need, that internal child, that's not fair. But that doesn't mean you're broken. Those are completely different things. If you broke your bone, would you be like, you better quit crying? Like, what's wrong with you? You're so broken. No. No. You would be like, oh my God. I remember one of my kids broke their arm and they were like, I don't know, I think they were like 2 or 3 years old. They something pushed them off the couch. They literally fell back on from the couch and they fell on their arm wrong. And it wasn't a hard fall. It looked suspicious, but it wasn't a hard fall. And then he started crying. And my husband didn't know any better. And he's like, it's okay. Stop crying already. The mama bear in me is like, this is the kid that doesn't cry for anything. Something's wrong. He's like, no, he just fell. No. Go get the biggest wooden spoon we have and get me the wrap. I wrapped his arm. I stabilized it on a spoon. I put a little fortune cookie right here. I wrapped it. Okay. And then we took him to the ER. And my husband's kind of like, oh God, do we really need to do this? Yes. He never cries. He never cries. Fuck yeah, he had a hairline fracture. He had a fracture. And he was in a cast for a while. If you can allow yourself to mother or father yourself, if you know you never cried and now you're crying, something's wrong. Let's see. We have to see. Because really, and honestly, if anyone else was there and witnessed it, from his aunties to his uncles to his grandparents, all of them would have said, like, that's excessive. He's fine. He just fell. He just got scared. Uh-uh. I am highly connected to my children. If you are acting out of character, if you never cry, and you're crying like, oh shit, something's probably broken, sprained. I can't tell myself, we taking you to the ER. We taking you to the ER. And yeah, let them tell me that I'm being excessive. If I'm feeling that, something's wrong. If I'm feeling that, something is wrong. If you're feeling what you're feeling, something is wrong and you have to seek out what it is. just because you didn't have the parents you thought you deserved as a child does not mean you can't be that parent for yourself now. At some point, you'll realize you are now responsible for your life as an adult. It doesn't matter what's happened to you as a child. No one has to take that into consideration. That's reality of the world. You can use that as an excuse all you want. But like I tell my kids, hey, no one has to care what happened to you at what age. When you are old enough to be pissed about things that happened to you as a child, you are old enough to begin the process of correcting that. If I had said or done something to you when you were a toddler, you still remember that and it still makes you mad, you come to me, you tell me, and I will apologize. Because we need to heal that now. And if I don't want to apologize, you don't need my apology. You can grow beyond my limited thinking, my flawed logic. You can grow beyond that. You no longer need my permission to heal yourself. You don't need my assistance. You're strong enough to do it on your own. And yes, you are allowed to be fucking furious with me. Absolutely. You are allowed to be furious with me if I'm incapable of hearing what you need me to hear. But remember, I am a flawed human being. I don't know all the answers. I don't always know how what I say affects you, what I do affects you. You still have to hold me accountable. Are you holding the people in your life accountable for what they've done? And holding people accountable has nothing to do with blame, has nothing to do with retribution, retaliation, has nothing to do with any of those things. It's about you recognizing this was the effect of their behaviors on me. I'm now strong enough and autonomous enough to no longer allow them to affect me in that way. Either because I'm not going to take in what they say to that depth, or they're not going to have access to me, period. And it is not weak for you to understand that you're not strong enough to be in someone's presence and not allow their presence to affect you so negatively. If that's the case, they shouldn't have access to you. I used to think it was me being weak. I used to think it was me being afraid that I couldn't hold my own. No, it's because you're toxic and I don't want to be toxic with you. So you could do that there. I'm going to go over there instead. Like, I'm good. You know how powerful that is? That's not a sign of weakness. It's not. Use the block button. Social media, block them. Oh, but they make different accounts. Okay, so why is your profile public? Do you low key want them to see? You trying to send messages and, because if you really don't want contact with someone, oh, you can make that happen. No, you can't. It's impossible because the internet. Don't post it on the internet. Why do you need to post it on the internet? Do you guys know where I am? Am I in the same place? Have I moved again? Do you guys know what my children look like, what their names are, how many I have, their ages? Do you guys know how my husband looks? None of that. No one needs to know any of that. Is it because it's a secret? No, it's because I'm entitled to my privacy. Just like you are. My job is to be public. Yet that stuff, the important stuff, the stuff that I don't want other people be fucking with, you don't have access to that. No apologies. None. I had someone get on my case and tell me that I'm a troll and that I'm not really a mother and I'm not really married because I have no pictures of any of my family on my Facebook. And they demanded to see pictures of my children. I'm like, fuck you. What are you, a pedo? Like, what do you need to see my kids for? I don't need to prove shit to you. And the people who have been friends on my social media way before I ever decided to do public work, oh, they've seen my children. They've seen me post nothing but all day fucking ad nauseum about my family. Oh, we went to the park today. We saw this today. Yeah, no, I don't need to do any of that shit. If you want your privacy, reclaim it. If you don't want whoever this is in your life, don't let them. Not even as a bystander, not even as someone just witnessing your public post. You don't have to post publicly. As a matter of fact, if you're worried about someone getting that information, don't post it at all. Don't post it at all. Reclaim your space. Someone wants to be a part of it. Do you want them to be? Because if not, what are you doing to prevent that? What are you doing to prevent that? You're not as helpless as you are being told to believe. And people are like, oh my God, the internet is forever. So, how does that affect me? Well, Emmie, oh my God, you put things out on the internet. Yeah. Things that I don't mind sharing. I'm making a conscious decision. Things that I do mind sharing, that's not going online. It's not. And for people to think that I have to share every aspect of my life. No, I don't. No, I don't. Do I need to be angry? No. That tells me I made you feel so comfortable around me that you feel entitled to it. And maybe I need to kind of take a step back. There's no need for anger there. There really isn't. When you recognize that your presence causes people to feel so comfortable around you that they begin to expect things from you, that's not a reason to be angry. Take it for what it is. They feel comfortable around you. Are they actually entitled? No. I don't have to share anything I don't want to share. I don't. I don't have to share anything I don't want to share. There are so many different aspects of my life and my history as a human being that I don't want to share that. Is it because I'm ashamed? No, it's because I'm choosing not to. There's no need for me to share everything in my life. Does that make me secretive? No. It makes me aware that I have options, that I have rights to my own sovereign life. And you need to begin adopting those rights. You have the same rights I do to your sovereign privacy, to your autonomy, to you living your life without having to let people know that this is where you are now. Now you did this, now you did that. A lot of people don't realize that when they do this, they're playing into this system, this program that tells you that in order for you to be valid, you have to do these things at these times, or else you're not keeping up with everyone else. My news feed, there's a lot of people still on one of my profiles, and that profile is from when I was still like, I think I started that profile in 2007. It's old. And the thing is, I don't go on there because I really don't like what I see. Is it offensive? Yes and no. It's offensive to me because it shows me how much people have been programmed to live exactly like each other. And if you live anything outside of what you're told is okay for you to live, then, you're invalidated. But at the same time, I'm not mad because really I shouldn't have a say in any of that. People are sovereign. They should live the way they live. What are they posting, you might wonder? Okay, well, specific times of the year, everyone posts pictures of them at Disneyland, of them at what was that? It's a pool in Vegas. Um, EDM, Burning Man. Like, I'm not interested in seeing that. And the implication that unless I'm posting pictures like that too, then, maybe I'm not on my grind. Maybe I can't afford it. Maybe this, maybe that. I really don't give a shit. I don't care to go to those places. I have such a disdain for Disney. I do. I do. I do. Years back, all my kids were, like, super young, and so we were like, "To celebrate the sale of our house, let's take an RV trip to Florida and then up to New York and then back to California," and then yeah, and so we were like, "When we go to Florida, we'll go to Disney World." That was the worst fucking experience ever. First, they have to ferry you into the park from the parking lot. I'm like, or you have to take the tram or whatever. And I'm like, why? But what if I want to leave and they close that down? So that freaked me the fuck out, first and foremost. And then what made it even worse, we don't watch Disney shows on TV. We don't watch the cartoons or any of that. My kids are not really, they're familiar with it, but they're not fans. And so we get to Disney, and my children are extremely aware. Let's just say that. Took my little ones on the Pinocchio ride. I was like, "This one's for kids. It's not scary." Oh, he was scared. He was like, "Why did you take us here? This is evil." I was like, "No, it's a story about a little boy." And he was the one that pointed out it's a story of human trafficking and abuse. I was like, "What? Mommy, they took the little boy from his dad." Oh, fuck. What? Yeah. He was 3 at the time. He was 3 at the time. Mhm. It was a horrible trip. Yeah, it was a horrible trip. He didn't wanna go on any more rides. He was just like, "No, this place is bad." You're right, son. You're right. You're right, and we haven't been back since. We haven't been back since, like, fuck that. Fuck that. Mhm. You don't know what you're being programmed with, huh? I didn't know until my kids pointed a lot of things out. Pointed a lot of things out. We took them on Small World because that's not supposed to be scary, right? That's supposed to like, "Oh, it's a small world after all." Like, it's about reunification and oh, no. No. He starts talking this is a toddler, okay? This is a toddler. He starts telling me that ride is bad too because something about AI, and they're trying to tell us that children should be robots and only move the way they're told to move and all. What the fuck? You ruined Disney for me. Yeah, no, toddler. Toddler. And we walk through the park, and all my kids are talking about all of these just not good not good shit, and I'm like, "Y'all stop." We're gonna be done here in a couple hours, and we won't come back, okay? It's just don't fuck up my childhood. Yeah, no, because I used to always go to Disney. Mhm. I used to always go to Disney as a child. So I'm fully immersed in that program. My kids aren't, so they can see clearly like, "Oh, this some fucked up shit. This is some really fucked up programming shit." Are you aware Pinocchio is a story of human trafficking? My toddler pointed this out. I was like, "No, but he's a puppet." He's telling me they're trying to say that they own the boy, that he's not a real boy, that kids aren't real, they're owned. That in order to be a good kid, you have to puppet what you're told. It's like you're blowing my mind. It's just stop, please. I'm not joking. Like, this is coming out of the mouth of a child. A child. Could you imagine what type of programs run without you even realizing these programs are running? As aware as I am, I didn't stop to think about any of that. And then here comes the oldest with, yeah, did you know the original stories? Oh, stop. Stop. Yeah, Sleeping Beauty is a story of rape. I mean, these are words that will flag this video, but I don't care. The prince didn't kiss her to wake her up. He did something else. Something not good. Something not good. Mm-mm. All of the stories that we think are romanticized, they're amazing children's stories. No, they're romanticized. They're like bad stories. They are bad stories, not good stories. You can look into that on your own. I don't want to talk about none of that. Gracious receptivity. So, if you're going to be receptive to whoever this is that's about to go into a full, like, obsessive cycle over you, you have to have grace in order for you to safely and comfortably get through this. You have to have grace, and grace, it requires you to not take things personal, to understand these are cycles of growth, and like, just, you have to be centered in your truth and be able to flow with compassion for everyone involved, for yourself as well as for the other person. Okay, card number 18, alignment. Things are, they're trying to align things right now. There's a potential of happiness. See the hummingbird? There's potential for growth, metamorphosis. There's potential for you to see the world with your high heart. That's important. That's the gateway to get to the ninth chakra, which is the doorway to that Christ consciousness. This alignment is really, really important. It is really, really important. For some of you, it has nothing to do with romance in a relationship. It has everything to do with you finally aligning with another person in such a way that allows for the flow of energy between you. That flow of energy will help you reach extremely high levels of awareness expansion. Now, I feel like I just have to reiterate, you guys probably already know, you don't expand the consciousness. That's already infinite. It is our awareness of this infinite consciousness that is finite and requires expansion. So expand your level of awareness. And sometimes that expansion process is uncomfortable. When I first began doing DNA activations, I didn't stop to consider if I should use sedation, because I know how to do scalar wave sedation. So I began doing sedation after I realized, as I'm expanding your consciousness, everyone's like, oh, my head. Like, oh my God, there's so much pressure in my head. Like, what's wrong? They're like, it feels like my head's being stretched, like my brain is about to burst because there's not enough space in my skull. So now I'm like, I sedated. You might feel a little sleepy. You might feel tingly. And most people will just feel very mild pressure. But if I don't sedate that, it's actually uncomfortable, bordering on painful. Am I expanding your consciousness? No. I'm expanding your field of awareness so that when you receive those intuitive messages from soul, there's much more processing space, much more. And it requires expansion of awareness. So let's see. Card number 42, reclaim your energy. This is not about someone taking from you. This is about you allowing a specific person to give you back the energy that was rightfully yours. It's okay for you to claim your own energy. Are you aware that despite you giving your energy to someone, that's only a loan? You are loaning them this energy. And at any point, you can call your energy back home to you. Yeah. You've had interactions with someone and you feel like they've taken energy from you and now you have no contact. Now, we're not doing this out of maliciousness. If you ever do something out of maliciousness, you carry that karmic load. I don't have to be like, I'm not going to, no, you can do whatever you're going to do, but you carry that karmic load. That's with you. You own that now. But if you've lost contact with someone, maybe you guys had a falling out and you've given so much of your energy to them, helping them, you can call your energy back just because, hey, there's like, you don't need to continue to have that. You no longer want me in your life. I don't need to keep letting you keep that. When your roommate moves out, do they get to keep the key to the house? No, because they're moving on with their life. Does that mean like you guys are pissed at each other? You hate each other? Not necessarily. When people move on, they move on. It has nothing to do with punishing and unless that's why you're moving on, in which case you own that karma. You own that. I don't need to talk about that. You own that. That's yours. You're going to deal with that through your whole life. And if you don't process it, it carries over to the next life. It's plain and simple. That's it. That's it. You know? So, card number 39, our ancient future. This is crazy. All the cards from last night pulled out. Card number 39, our ancient future. Bringing back things from the past. This is someone coming back from your past. It could be past in this life or someone from your past life. This is a life where we are free to begin the process of clearing karmic debt. Now, if you're not cognitively aware of this, if you're thinking you're just being punished, instead of clearing that karmic debt, you're loading more on. That's a choice you can make. It's okay. It makes you stronger in the end. Maybe not stronger in this life, maybe stronger in the next life, but stronger nonetheless. So no one needs to interfere with that. You do you. Okay. Card number 5, heart chakra unfurling back to love. So it's kind of like the Mimosa Pudica plant. Mimosa Pudica, it's the, it's like a shy plant. I forget what they call it. But what it does, when you touch the leaves, they kind of curl, they kind of close up to protect itself. If you both, either you or the other person, felt like you had to curl up into yourself to protect yourself from the gravity of the other person's presence in your journey, and now you're in the process of being stimulated to unfurl, to return back to love, to become centered in your heart chakra again. Okay. Card number 17, awakened awareness, allowing yourself to be very aware of what's actually going on. I think for some, not all, for some, you're experiencing telepathic communication. Okay. This is not a very common thing yet. Be careful of trying to convince yourself that this connection is something that it's not. Trying to force yourself into the mold of like, no, this is the type of connection I have because there's telepathic communication. How do you know? How do you know? If you're so starved for that type of connection, you'll get breached by a mimic. You'll get breached by a mimic. Because of the fact that we're anchored in the 5th dimensional level of consciousness at this point, we experience 4th dimension and lower. This is why there are so many recordings at this point and such an increase in parasitic situations, demonic possessions. It's not possessions, inhabitations. When you allow your physical home, your body, to contain voids, creation doesn't like a void. It will always try and fill it. Fill it with what? Who knows? If you're not consciously filling it yourself, whatever walks past, whatever notices you can absolutely occupy it. So that's no longer a possession. That's an inhabitation. You have a squatter in your auric field. I don't know if you know this, but in most states, it's very difficult to get rid of a squatter, especially if they know legislation and all of that stuff. civil codes, all of that is very difficult. There's such a thing as squatters' rights. So card number 4, solar plexus chakra, radiant illumination. Allowing yourself to be the light that you are is going to really create an acceleration in all of these cards. Okay. The more you step into your truth and your purpose, the more intoxicating your light becomes for whoever this other person is. Card number 27, furred and feather friends. This is telling me that everything's going to be drawn to you. Everything. Once you allow that solar plexus to expand and accrete frequency, like very, very quickly, your personal power is going to cause you to be a force to be reckoned with, and many, many things will be drawn to you. The weak, the struggling, the people who are looking for love and connection, as well as those who are seeking a challenge, those who are wanting to consume you, those who have malicious intent. It's just kind of part of the process. That's how people are. Animals. We're animals. We like to think we're not part of the animal kingdom, but we are. We are part of the mammals. There are so many other animals like us on this earth. We just happen to be aware and capable of manipulating our environment. You are an animal nonetheless. Everything's going to be drawn to you. Reaching that level of awareness, everything is going to be drawn to you. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a thing that you have to be aware of, because if you're not aware of it, you'll probably begin to wonder, like, what is it about me? Oh my God, why are all these things coming to me? I've seen so many TikTok videos where they're using this specific, like, I think it's like a manifestation. I don't know if it's like a song or something, or if it's just a spoken mantra, or what it is. But people are like, oh my God, all of a sudden, people are just coming to me, like all these people from my past are coming forward. I don't know what the hell is happening. I don't want to listen to the sound. What ends up happening is, when you listen to it, any type of thing you hear or see, it carries with it the potentiality of reprogramming standing scalar waves. When you're able to reprogram these standing scalar waves and align them in such a way, it creates a flow of energy that's more conducive for manifestation. There's other components to it, but the basics of it, if I can produce audible tonations that realign that standing scalar wave and recode you in such a way that minimizes or completely eliminates the distortions that block the flow of energy, you can then begin to use that energy consciously or subconsciously to manifest. For example, I did a fire ceremony. I think it was it 9/11. Was it 9/9? I don't know. It was recent. I did a fire ceremony, and I set the intention that it's an abundance fire ceremony. It's pretty cool, because I really felt that, like, I'd like to call some of my abundance in. Some, not all, some. And as soon as that live stream was done, I had a check from Uncle Sam in the mail. Uh, yeah, manifestation can be easy, but it requires alignment, which is damn near impossible for most people. Why is it damn near impossible for most people? Well, because you're trying to control, and in order to control the flow of energy, you have to create dams. Those are blockages. Those are blockages. You want to control the energy, you're blocking it from going where it's naturally supposed to go. And if you block it, You block manifestation. It's up to you how you want to receive this information, you know? So, card number 13, power of attraction. You're bringing to you the very things that you need in order to help round out your knowing of what you need to know during this period. There are those who think you already know how they feel, know what they plan, know this, know that. Do you really? For some of you, yes, you do. For others of you, you'd like to, but because you've been struggling with control for some time now and you have not done what needs to be done to correct what's going on, you probably don't know. You probably just want to know, but don't actually know. That doesn't make you less than. That statement should tell you that there's work you need to do so that you can actually know. These live streams have nothing to do with ego of telling you you're less than or you're more than. That's a choice you're making. You're choosing how to interpret the words that are coming out of my mouth. I can't control that. Like one of my kids, there's certain things that he doesn't like. It doesn't matter how you say it. It does not matter how you say it. You could be like, "Hey, baby, could you please?" And the moment you say it's something he doesn't like, why? Okay, who the fuck you talking to? It's just me and you in this room. Who are you talking to like this? Like, why? Like you a demon? Uh, rewind, rewind all the way the fuck back. Um, assess how you need to address me because you can disagree with me, you can be disappointed with me, but you can't be disrespectful to me. And I'm not going to tolerate shit like that. Like, I will say to you, hey, you better watch your level of disrespect. I don't like that. It's okay for me to communicate that. It's okay for him to understand you're about to approach a boundary that I will not allow you to cross. So let's both reassess. Let us both reassess because we both need to respect each other enough to not take it to the point where now we got to see what happens when that boundary is actually crossed. No, that's not how we love. We love by hearing what the other person needs and assessing quietly within ourselves how we should respond to that. All I have to say is you need to become aware of your level of disrespect. Separate, be quiet for a little bit. And every single time after my child has had time to process, hey, mommy, I'm sorry. I was just really disappointed because I didn't want to do that. I'm still playing my video game. Okay. Well, you could have just said that to me. You could have just said, mommy, is it okay if you wait a few minutes? Do you need that done right now? Because I can't pause my game. And then we wouldn't have had to have the harsh energy. It's we live in societies where it's not okay for you to have these conversations, not with your children, not with your lover, not with your friends, not with your work. No, no. And then when you don't have those conversations and you're living the consequences of that lack of communication, then the same society that tells you you can't communicate these things will tell you, see, you failed. See that? You don't know how to communicate. Oh, but you can't say these things, but you don't know how to communicate. When are you going to exit out of these programs? When? That has to be a conscious decision to exit out of those programs. You have to consciously choose like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be quiet. I have to speak this truth. I have to express myself. I have to release this before it becomes a blockage and then I begin to try and control situations that I should not be controlling. See how that works? See how that works? When you don't speak your truth, you create blockages. And when you create blockages, you're now being primed to be put in a position where you feel like you have to control a situation in order for it to not harm you. That's a losing cycle. Every single time you go through that cycle, you will deplete yourself to the point where you will lose sight of exactly what it is. Exactly what it is that you need to do, you'll lose sight of it. And then you will go into full just triggered mode of, I need to control this, I need to control that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And then you still feel very, very disempowered inside. Whenever I get triggered to where I feel like I have to control things, it wrecks me inside. Like, I live in a house full of nothing but males. The only females in the house with me are a Chewini and a bully pit. Those two bitches ain't got my back. I'm the only female in the house. And it's like I have a specific standard of organization and cleaning. Now, is it a fair standard? Is it a realistic standard? Or is it my way to control my environment because I feel very disempowered within myself? And I recognized it's my way to control my environment because I can't control myself. I feel very chaotic inside. So now it's kind of just little like, hey guys, could you please pick up the toys? Hey guys, could you please wash the dishes? And if I'm ignored, if things continue to be allowed to pile up and become in disarray, um, oh, what they'll hear is, I cannot live like this anymore. No, I can't. I can't. You guys need to do something. And then I go and shut down. And the moment they hear that, hey guys, let's clean up, mommy's shutting down. Mommy's having a hard time. Just let's clean up, guys. It's too much. It's too much for her. She can't take this. I don't have to yell. I don't, like I can't. I cannot. I cannot. Like, it's too much for me. I'm overloaded. And yeah, my kids are absolutely free to ask me, like, why does it get like that for you? And I've explained to them, well, something goes on in my brain and it's like I'm already chaotic inside. It's not a bad thing. It's just I'm very chaotic inside. And when I see the chaos outside of me, it makes me feel unsafe in my own skin. Oh, so you're not mad at us? No, I just feel really chaotic. I need things to at least be in a little bit of order. So that way I can, like, okay, everything's fine. We're balanced. It's okay. It's okay for you to have these kind of conversations with your lover. It's okay. If I can have them with my children, I'd like to think you've picked someone with at least the same level of maturity as my child. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't even have the type of maturity that like a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, 5-year-old has, what are we doing here? Are you in this relationship to fulfill a need to mother someone because you didn't feel mothered? I'm not trying to be derogatory. Like, these are things you have to consider so that you begin understanding why you function the way you do. You have to know the root of your behaviors. Not because you're wrong, not because you're broken, not because you're toxic, not because you have to fix it or no one's going to love you, but because you deserve to live with an understanding of yourself. You deserve that. That is your right. We're not doing this for someone else. It is your right to know why you function the way you do. And when you begin to understand that you function this way because of this, this, and this, you can begin the process of healing yourself and letting yourself know, I'm no longer that child. I don't need to be afraid like that. I don't need to function this way. I don't need to lash out. I'm now a powerful adult. I understand myself to the degree that I can make changes within myself so that I can feel more comfortable in my life. That's not too much to ask from yourself. It's just not. Society would tell you, like, oh my God, that's so hard. Like, that's too much. That's so complex. No, it's not. You deserve that. You deserve that. That's the bare minimum. It's like saying, like, oh my God, that's too hard. That's too complex. You're asking too much of me to have me clean my own clothes so I have clean clothes to wear. Like, please, that is not too much to ask of you. You deserve to wear clothes that feel clean against your skin and smell good. You deserve that. You deserve that. That's the bare minimum. You deserve to feel fresh and clean within your own body, within your own life. And I think what these cycles are bringing you to this point where you're going to begin to see, like, okay, I've been kind of triggered. Those triggers, they don't even have anything to do with this. What's actually going on over here? Well, what about me do I need to begin assessing? Like, is it something from childhood? Did something happen to me while I was a teenager? Is it something that's just always existed? What is this something? How does this something affect me? How does it affect my perception? Because your perception is the way you interpret the things you experience. That's important. It's important for you to not have any distortions within the way you perceive your experiences, the world, your place within the world, what your purpose is. When you have a distorted perception, God, that affects everything, everything in your life. Many of us have now allowed other people to distort our perception to the degree where we actually truly believe that we are not complete in ourselves. We are not a whole person because, oh, we need a twin. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you needed the twin for your life, you wouldn't have been born unless they were attached to you. That's the reality of it. Yeah, that's the reality of it. You might need to know that a person actually exists that embodies the essence of this. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Let's really remove that very, very toxic projection. It's draconian. It's demonic, full on demonic. They took a very real thing, which is a twin pair. They took a very real thing and turned it into a way to enslave your mind, your heart, everything in your life. How many of you are pining away for a person who treated you fucking poorly? They treated you poorly. They made you feel like shit. But because you label them as a twin, you're holding space for them to come back. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't fucking think so. You're not getting away with jack shit. If you are a twin of mine and you don't raise me up and place me on a pedestal, fuck you. I don't fucking think so. If you're truly a twin, that means you know the gravity of me and my essence. And if you can't value that, fuck you. Maybe that's your part in my life to make me so rebellious to your fuckery that now I'm like, no, bitch, I didn't need you to put me on a pedestal. I walk on one, I live on one. Hey, you don't know why this person is supposed to be in your life and yada, yada, yada. Let's totally exit out of that draconian program. Whew. People be thinking like, he don't give you the time of day. He's not willing to commit to you. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I feel like twin flames should be best friends. You don't want to be my friend? Oh, well, fuck you then. There's billions of other people in this world. I can create connections with other people. It's fine. It's fine. You don't want me in your life? Okay. Toodles. And some people might be like, oh my God, you're so harsh, but that's your twin. If they can't treat me with the same regard, I need to match that energy. You want to leave? I let you go. That's it. That's it. I need to match that energy. I have to have some sort of standards for myself because if I base it on your standards for me and you don't have respect for me, you don't value me in the way that you should value me, then that tells me I have no value. And I'm not willing to not have value. I'm not willing to enter into this place where I need someone outside of me to validate me. No more. No, no, no. You could be a twin all you want, but you're not going to be in my life. I'm not going to pine away for you. I don't think so. And I'm not talking about misunderstandings. I'm not talking about separations that occur because there is fear regarding the gravity of what this connection is. And it's scary to know that someone can connect with you on such a deep level and you don't know because of your life traumas if this person's going to take advantage of you and this and that. And, that's fine. You need time to work out your life traumas that occurred before you knew I existed, before I knew you existed. That's fine. That's not the same as what I see day in and day out of people waiting for this person who's not giving you the time of day. You deserve more than just having the time of day. You deserve the entire sun, the moon, the earth, and the entirety of this creation bowing at your feet because you are sacred. And if someone can't see that, fuck them. For real. Fuck them. They are not that special that they get to convince you that you deserve less than what you actually deserve. And most of us don't even know what we deserve. Most of us don't even know what we deserve. So before you start with this twin stuff, you need to begin with the me stuff. My healing, my growth, my expansion of my awareness. We have to begin treating ourselves with a type of regard that we wish other people, especially these twins, would regard us with. We have to. We have to. When you don't believe that you deserve more, when you don't believe that there's some minimum standard that people should regard you with, I'm not talking about overinflated sense of self and self-worth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a minimum standard of be mindful of how you affect me. Just if you can't be respectful, then don't come around. It's okay. I'm not so starved for connectivity that that's all I deserve. And maybe that's it. Maybe so many of us are so starved for this connectivity that we'll eat anything because we're starving. Don't allow yourself to get so depleted that you'll consume anything just because it's available. You have to go beyond normal. You have to go beyond that which you think is all there is, because the reality is most of us don't understand how much more there is. Case in point, most people who grew up in California, they will never leave California. They will remain living in California for the rest of their lives, no matter how miserable they are in California. Why is that? Because as a former Californian, there's just this thing that anything beyond the state lines of California is Narnia. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. What? Nevada? Oh my God, that's so far. What, Oregon? Oh my God, that's so far. Oh my God, you're going all the way to Arizona? Like, bitch, the state line touches Arizona. Are you serious? Nevada touches California. Like, really? People in the San Francisco Bay Area are like, oh my God, you gotta go all the way to LA. It's in the same fucking state. It's in the same state. Yo, I had someone, because I had moved. I had moved and everyone was like, oh my God, that is so far. What is it like out there? Bitch, it's 40 minutes away. What the fuck? Are you serious? I don't know how you did it. Like, oh my God. You went all the way to. It's 40 minutes. Are you kidding me right now? You're not you wow. Wow. People in Fremont, California, It's like 40 minutes, 30 minutes from San Francisco, and they're like, "Oh my god, I gotta go all the way to the city." Are you fucking kidding me right now? Once upon a time, my commute was like 18 hours, literally straight 18 hours. That's the commute. We tell our kids, "Hey, we gotta go so and so." "Oh, how far is it?" "Oh, 12 hours." "Oh, that's it?" "Uh-huh. That's right. That's right." "That's it?" "Yeah. Yeah, we have grown adults." "Oh my god, 45 minutes?" Y'all be too much, too much. Y'all have been so programmed to believe that you have to stay within this little tiny box. Little tiny box. You have to stay in your home. You cannot move. Why? And I've had so many people, it's primarily the elders in the family where they're like, "I have to get home. The house is waiting for me." You understand the house don't give a fuck if you're there, right? It's not a living thing. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The house is waiting for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm the small-minded one. I don't get that shit. I don't get it. I don't. A lot of people don't realize like your house, your physical house serves as almost like a prison for you. It's almost like a prison. You can only exist in there. You can't go anywhere else. And without permission, you can't move anywhere else. And if you move, it has to be within this little circle. You can't exit the circle. You have to stay there. I'm over here like, "Oh, we're going to move." "Oh, how far? Like hour?" "Oh, no, like 12." "Oh, like to a whole different state?" "Oh, yeah." "How are you going to move all your stuff?" "Well, we're going to put it in things that have wheels and are pulled by an engine." "Oh my god, you have so much stuff. How are you gonna move it?" "Well, I'm gonna put it in a box, and I'm gonna put the box in something that has wheels and an engine." I'm just saying. I'm just saying, we have to really, like, everyone used to think I was so insane because I left California first, okay? So that was the first offense. The second offense was, how dare I fucking just keep traveling nonstop for several years? I'm sorry, what? Why is that offensive to you? Like, I'm not asking you for gas money. Why is that offensive to you? Well, how dare I believe and act and live as though I'm that free? Oh, because I am. I am. Do you know? So many people are scared to live in an RV, yet there's no rent, there's no mortgage, there's no utilities. Um, if you have a fully functional RV, you can literally pull off on the side of a road on a mountaintop and just enjoy the view. You don't need to hook up. Another thing, um, when you go to RV parks, they have water and electric, and they don't charge you separate for that. And if it's an RV park outside of California, it's about $15 to $20 a night. Most, like, I guess, like the average, I'm thinking in California now, okay? Like the average rent would probably be 2,500 to 3,500 a month. I mean, that's your whole, like, that'll last you several months. Several months. Several months. Your cost to stay in your box for 1 month will fund your RV trip for several months. Several. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's crazy to be that free. It's crazy. It's crazy to be able to just, you know what? I'm not really feeling the vibe here. Let's just put everything in the RV. Let's go somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you know what it feels like to find BLM land? Like our good friends were showing us all this stuff, and it's fucking amazing. To find BLM land, that's Bureau of Land Management. BLM land that it's completely free, and you can be on several acres all by yourself. You don't hear anyone else's bullshit. The air is so crisp. You see wild animals. You're just at peace. Do you know how free it is? That when the sun goes down, life slows down. You don't have any shows to watch. You can just kind of lay in bed and just think about the day. Think about what you plan to do tomorrow. Think about what you want to experience tomorrow, where you want to be, and to be able to just go. There's something really beautiful about that. There's something really beautiful about having a very limited amount of space. So only the most important things, the things that you cherish, are the things you bring with you. There's no room for that extra pretense. There's no room for the entire wardrobe that you, I mean, let's face it. You got a wardrobe this big and you probably only wear this many clothes. Let's face it. Let's be honest with ourselves. You have all these things that you buy simply because what, it carries a red sticker at Target. I'm guilty of that. It carries a red sticker at Target, and I'll find a use for it. When you live in an RV, you can't do that shit. Do you know how much you save? There's no room for that. There's no room for consumption because you feel empty inside. That's why we buy a lot of things. We're trying to fill up the space. The bigger your house, there's a likelihood you have a bigger emptiness inside you. That's the reality of it. I know, I lived through that. For a while, we were at a property that was fucking huge. Huge. We never saw our kids. We just didn't. They're each in a different portion of the house, and like, I haven't seen the kids. Where the fuck are the kids? House was gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. House was gorgeous. I felt so empty inside. Where are my kids? Like, made me feel like no one wanted to hang out. Where's everyone at? On their electronics. Unlimited supply of electric. On their electronics, in their rooms, in the playroom, in this room, in that room. No family time. That was ugly. In such a beautiful house, that was ugly. I didn't like that. So after that, we moved to an old farm with half the square footage. Literally halved. Piled the fuck up on top of each other. They loved it. Oh my God. They loved it. They loved it. The living room was the size of the closet in the old house. We were just all piled up on our couch. Having movie night every night is fucking amazing. It was amazing. That's one of our most favorite places. It was amazing. It was amazing. Have you developed bonds with your family? Are you in an environment that supports bonding with the people you love? Because if it doesn't, have you learned how to bond? And this is not evidence of you being broken. This is something you have to be aware of, because if you didn't learn how to bond with your family, chances are it's going to be difficult for you to bond in a healthy manner with healthy people. You will seek the same disconnection in your relationships and friendships because that is all you know. And just because that is all you know doesn't mean you're less than. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you deserve less. It means now you have to be more aware and create with intention the things you need. That's what that means. Yeah, we had half the square footage. Yeah, the living room was the size of my old closet. But yeah, we bought some fucking side by sides. Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Every day, practically, after I'm done with my final session, it's race time. We go outside and we fucking tearing shit up with side by sides. Hmm. Yeah. Most fun shit ever. Constantly together. Someone doesn't want to go outside. They're sick and tired of riding side by sides on the farm. Well, can you just come out and be my fucking buggy partner? Can you just sit in the passenger side? Oh, mom, I need a co-pilot. Come hang out with us. Okay. And then everyone's laughing. These are decisions we make. These are decisions we make. Whether we want to bond or any of that. No, we weren't drag racing. We there were several acres, so I wanted it to be a working farm. I wanted to get a shit ton of goats, a shit ton of chickens, maybe a cow. And my husband was just like, you fucking work all day, 7 days a week. Yeah, so I was like, fine, I'm fine. I don't want animals in. And because the farm was already structured to be able to house multiple goats, and it was like sectioned off in different corrals, but you could open the corrals to link with each other. So that's what we did. We opened all the gates and it became like an obstacle course. It became like an in real life Mario Kart because we got kid size side by sides so the kids could drive it. Our only rule was don't fucking crash and don't roll it. That was our only rule. You could go as fast as you want. You could, like, if you're in the car, you're the side by side by yourself, you could slam on the brakes, but don't turn it, don't roll it. Because if you break it, we're not getting a new one. And that was the only rule. So basically, all my kids know how to drive. Yeah. And because the side by sides had like all terrain wheels, we no longer needed a lawnmower. It tore up all the weeds that would grow. So, yeah, fucking fun. Oh my god. It was so fucking fun. And then there's all farms all around us as well. Everyone had like I want to say at least 5 acres for each property. I think it was at least 5 acres for each property. And so we would just fucking tear shit up in the whole neighborhood. Once someone exits the course, we all go. You can't travel by yourself because if you run out of gas, it doesn't have a gauge. If you run out of gas, someone needs to be able to like head back to the house and get gas and save you. So we would all go. It's just some fun shit, you know. It's definitely this thing of like needing to consciously choose what is important to you. Cuz we couldn't do that kind of shit at the big house. Yeah, we had a lot of internal square footage, but no one played with each other. No one played with each other because, yeah. But at the farm, we're all piled up inside the house. And then we have all this space outside. So we made a conscious decision. Let's bond outside as well as inside and make this the most fun experience ever. Do you make conscious decisions in the relationships you're in, whether it's friendship or romantic, to have as much fun as possible? If you're with someone because of the label, because of the aesthetic, because of how you can present it on social media, I'm pretty sure it's not fun. I'm pretty sure it's not fun. And if it's not fun, I mean, if you're anything like me, if you can't make me laugh and keep me laughing, eh, I'm sorry, what's your name? You know, it's one of those things. What do you feel? Do you want a happy life or do you want a life that you can brag about? Because what society values, what you can use to brag and show that you're, so much more this, so much more that. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the same thing that creates happiness. These influencers, content creators that you might idolize because they take all these trips and like, I'm pretty sure they're very much in debt. I'm pretty sure those trips are no longer fun because now they have to outdo the last trip and they have to spend more. And because they spent more, they have to do more to earn more to justify that trip. Like, uh. And then secondly, um, why do you even need a vacation from your life? Are you living a life and having relationships that you need breaks from? My husband and I don't need a break from each other. We don't have a perfect relationship. We have a real one. We are literally together all the time. We work together. There's no like, oh, I need guys' night out. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Like, I need my space. Uh-uh. There's none of that. Is it because we're codependent? No. We're interdependent. That's healthy. But why don't we need a break from each other? Because it's a real connection. There's a real depth of connection there. It's real. It is real. Don't you want something real rather than this fairy tale that you're told and, oh, it's spiritual, so that's what I want. Is that what you want or is that what you were convinced to want? The reality of many of the spiritual people who are publicly visible, the reality is this: they need you to believe what they believe so that you can further validate for them something they're not even sure if it's valid. Tell me where I lied there. Tell me where I'm wrong with that statement. I see this time and time and time again. They need you to believe what they've just said, to validate what they've just said, because they don't really know if it's valid. It sounds valid, but does it feel valid? Not really. I mean, what am I supposed to feel? If you don't even know what you're supposed to feel when your body and your soul is telling you this is valid, that's a major fucking problem. That is a major, major problem. And they're not going to tell you this. They're not going to tell you this. One of my business partnerships ended because of the fact that they got breached and they wanted to pretend like everything was okay. No. You fucking worked on all these people. That's not okay. You need to figure out a fucking way to let people know, like, hey, I could have possibly, potentially exposed you to a personal circumstance that I experienced. Is it okay with you for me to check and correct if you were? Oh, no. Oh, no, no. I don't fucking run my business like that. If I mistakenly expose you to some shit, I will tell you, hey, I'm very sorry. I kind of did something that I wasn't aware. Is it okay with you if I could just make sure? I don't want my shit to be affecting you. Is it okay with you? Accountability, integrity. Who are you listening to? People who lack those? We don't know, do we? Because oftentimes these are the very people who would never admit anything that goes against the aesthetics that they're trying to project. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you that. They just won't. They don't have enough of that courage and accountability. And that's okay, that's them. I'm not going to try and correct anyone. But what are you listening to? Who is giving you life advice? And these tend to be the people who talk about the twin flame stuff, who tell you that you have to be in divine union and this and that. And, like you're not really succeeding at the twin stuff unless you're in a sexual relationship with another person. Uh, uh, no. Card number 32, faith in the process. Have faith in your own process. Allow yourself to feel every part of what you're going through. It's okay for you to be distinctly aware of your internal deconstruction. Most people will freak out when they feel this. Why? Because they don't know what's going on. They think they're being broken from the inside out. No, you're being deconstructed. It's the equivalent of you trying to build a piece of furniture bought from IKEA, and you don't have the instruction manual. You don't know where it went. So now you're just trying to put pieces, whatever hole you think it can fit in. And now the shit tilts. It tilts. What happens when you do that with the IKEA furniture? And that happens very often. It's not something to be ashamed of. Laugh about it. Shit, it's fucking funny. If it tilts, what do you need to do? Deconstruct it, take it apart, and now you already know, like, okay, I think that piece didn't belong there. I need to switch it out for this piece, and this and that. We have to be more balanced within our ego, that we can free ourselves to deconstruct things and no, this is not me tearing myself apart. I don't need to prove that I'm this or I'm that. Like, no, it's tilted. I want it solid. So I'm going to take it apart and redo it. Oftentimes the logic is, well, I've already done so much. Okay, but if you did it wrong, it doesn't fucking matter if you spent 3 hours putting it together. It doesn't matter if you spent 3 hours putting it together. If it leans and the moment you put something on it, it's going to fall apart, you need to deconstruct it and rebuild it properly. And you know what most of us do? Oh my God, it was a total waste of money. Just throw it away. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's how we treat ourselves. It didn't work the first time. Well, it's a waste of time. I can't do it. You can't do it or you don't want to. There's a difference. Are you incapable or are you unwilling? There's a difference. Those are two different things. Find the answer and then apply a solution. Card number 33, Heaven Sent. Every situation in your life is teaching you something about yourself, about your life, about your growth, your trajectory, your past, all of that. Allow yourself to be present to receive your messages. Card number 34, In the World, Not of the World. You may be in the world, but not of the world. But the fact that you're in this world means you have to operate within the world's parameters. Well, Emmie, I thought you just said like we shouldn't live within the box. Yeah. But there's this other layer to that. Like the spiritual people say, like if you charge for your services, that's evil and wrong. No, it's not. Until all of us manage to create a society that is without currency, without cost, I need to live somewhere. I need to eat. I need certain basic human necessities. And because I can't live on this earth for free, that means I have to operate within that financial program and get paid, right? They call it earning a living wage for a reason. You earn it because of the cost of existing. Now, unless you can convince the rest of the world that we are animals and no other animal has to pay to exist, I'm going to need you to kindly shut the fuck up. Yeah. There's many layers to many different things. And if you can only see one aspect of it, you're going to miss the fact that it's multifaceted. And that's why you don't learn things to the degree that you need to learn them. That's why. It's not because you're incapable. It's because you didn't know that it wasn't just a sheet of paper, and it's an entire house of cards. An entire house of cards. So learn. You're in this world, you're not of this world. But because you're in this world in a human body, you are still part of the human race and need to live based on how society is currently structured, with a knowing. When you are finally prepared to fully live and enter into the purpose of your soul, you will be part of the group that incarnated to change that. But until it's changed, I do have to live within the same parameters. I have wiggle room within those parameters, but I can still live within those parameters. I don't have many other options yet. Yet. I lived in an RV. I got out of the box, but there's a second box. It's a nesting box. It's a fucking Russian nesting dolls. That's what we live in. Although I exited the box and no longer had a mortgage, no longer had to pay utilities, I still absolutely still have to pay taxes. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Hello. And then there'll be these people who will come across you and be like, oh no, Emmie, you just got to know legalese and you can challenge. Okay, have you done that? Well, no. Okay, so shut the fuck up. We are so quick to take the advice of people who do simple Google searches and have no idea how to actually apply that information to their life. And they're not going to apply it to their life. They're going to tell you to apply it to yours and watch you crash and burn so that they know, okay, I'm not going to try that. Oh, no, fuck you, sir. I don't think so. Why do you take advice from people like that? You think they're going to be like, I'm so sorry I told you to do that. No, they're going to be like, no, I didn't. I never said that. Oh, you fucker. I've experienced that so many times. So many times. So many times. That's the very reason why I have this unshakable belief at this point. If I'm a fuck up, it's going to be because I decided to. I'm not going to do what the fuck you tell me to. Unless it resonates or it was a message my soul was already giving me and I just didn't want to fucking listen. No, sir. Do it to your life first. Do it to your life first. I'll watch you. How about that? Mm-mm. Card number 1, after the storm. So humanity at large, the macro and the personal individual, the micro, have been experiencing a shitstorm for the past how long? At least for just about 2 years now. For at least just about 2 years now. At least. It's probably more than that. But at some point, we have to stop using our energy to do the rain dance and then wonder why it keeps raining. When we continue to put our energy into the very things that oppress us, whether it be societal things, whether it be legislation, whether it be political things, whether it be intercontinental, global, whatever the fuck it is, if you're putting your energy into it, you're feeding into it. You're feeding it. You're allowing it. At some point, we have to stop. That includes this belief that you need someone else outside of you to exist, to validate your existence. Because you don't. You don't. Part of the reason why my respect kind of wavers sometimes. It's the truth. It kind of wavers sometimes because I get frustrated with Michael. And not the person. Fucking Michael irritates me. Part of the reason why I still have respect for my counterpart, my twin ray, is because at no point at all, I don't remember ever this individual telling me that I have to be with them because we're twins. Because that would have ended real. That would have ended real good. That would have ended real fucking good. Sarcasm has been elevated. Nope. No other human being can ever tell me that I'm living my life wrong. No other human being can tell me where I belong, who I belong with, any of that. I choose for me. I choose. Sometimes I choose things that create more struggle. Sometimes I choose things that create a better flow. I choose. I'm the only one that has to live through the entirety of that consequence. I choose. You can share with me your perceptions. I'm willing to hear it, but I choose. No one else chooses shit for me. No one. No one. Not the twin, not the husband, no one. Sometimes my kids kind of. Kind of. But I still choose, like, okay, I'll do what you say because you're my kid. Okay. That's still my choice. It's still my choice to let them decide for me as my children, things that I should be deciding for myself. You know, my kids told me that I had to cut my nails. They told me that I need to take them off. But I like them. No, mommy, you're making it harder for yourself. Let me finish this. You're making it harder for yourself because you can't massage me with your hand right. Oh, sorry. My bad. Your nails are too long. I feel it on my skin when you massage me. I'm sorry. But I like it. Well, could you at least make it shorter? You don't need it that long. Sure. Sure. Mind you, I was in the bathroom. I was already taking all my clothes off so I could prepare a nice bath for myself when, Mommy, I need a back rub. I'm in the bathroom. How much longer will you be? Well, I was going to take a bath. Oh, that's too long. What do you need? I need a massage. Put all the clothes back on. Fuck the bath. That's okay. I'm actually okay with that. I came out of the bathroom and I was throwing attitude while I was massaging. Is this good enough for you? No, it's too hard. How about now? It's too soft? It's fun here. Every day is fun here. Every day is fun here. Every day. So I massage my kid and he's like, it's still tight. I'm sorry, honey. That's the best mommy's going to do tonight. If you would just take your nails off, it'd be a lot easier for you. Okay. Yeah. So I go and take a bath, and the mom in me is like, well, my husband's already going to bed. someone else needs to enjoy this too. So, I mean, my oldest will pretty much co-sign whatever with me. So I was like, hey, do you want to take a bath too? Do you want me to make a bath for you? I'm just I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And then the one that I massaged was totally like, I asked him to go call his brother to let him know the bathroom is waiting. I didn't want to say the bath because then he's going to be like, what about my bath? You're not compatible with the oils that I used. So I was like, can you call your brother to let him know the bathroom's waiting? And he goes, oh, you mean so you made him a bath? Yes, I did. I did. I made him a bath after I massaged you. I'm just asking, mommy. I'm just asking. Okay. Mind you, he's my mini me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I made him a bath after I massaged you, sir. Card number 17. What is already with you? Everything you need in this life, all the information, all, the guidance and all of that, it's already with you. It's already with you. Card number 23. Defend to the end the worthwhile. That bath was worth it. It was worth throwing attitude. Okay? It was worth throwing attitude. And let me just tell you, my kid was like, are you going to massage me? And I was like, where's the oil? And he goes, I don't know. Well, you need to find the oil so I can massage you. Well, it's wherever you put it last, because whenever you use the oil, you put it somewhere. You mean whenever I massage you? Is that what you mean? Whenever I massage you, I put your massage oil somewhere? Where was the last place I massaged you? I know why you're mad. Motherfucker. And me and my husband are in bed. I'm looking at my husband like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Obviously, my kid left the room already. And he goes, he's laughing because it's me arguing with myself. Because my husband, I had an injury and I asked him to use the buffer on me to kind of release the lactic acid. And he asked where it was. And I was like, I don't know. And when I think about it now, it's wherever he massaged me last. Hot fucking damn. Yeah. Daddy, if you're watching, I'm so sorry that I'm just like your son. Oh my God. I don't know how he deals with me and my kid. Ooh. I'm dying. We cute though. We cute and we're magical and like you just can't feed us past midnight or get us wet. Is what it is. Card number 29, seeing the true you. I totally just saw the true me right now. Totally just saw it. Okay. So whoever this is that has a history with you, that's like returning back. Again, let's get the whole romance thing out of there. Whoever this is able to see the true you. And what the fuck was that? They're able to see the true you. I saw something. They're able to see the true you and be a reflection for you. Okay. So it might be hard for you to see how you are and who you are at first. It might be something that's difficult, okay? Card number 39, free from judgment, free to love. Allowing yourself to just be yourself and love yourself as you are. That is so important. So important. You have to allow yourself to love yourself where you are, not after you reach a certain level of growth and yada, yada, yada. That's not the goal. Okay. You have to love yourself where you are, as you are right now, knowing there's room for you to grow and expand and shift. Shifting is key. You're not supposed to become someone else. You're just not. It's not a goal for you to decide that I'm not good enough as I am right now, so I'm going to pretend to be someone else. That's a surefire way for you to learn your lesson to a much more profound degree through your suffering. Suffering is a choice. It's optional. It's optional. Most human beings will choose suffering rather than flow. That's an option you chose. That's chosen. Okay? Once you begin to realize you're choosing these things for yourself, you'll begin to realize you now have the power to choose other things that don't amplify the suffering. You see how that works? That's why accountability is so important. Take ownership of the decisions you make. Stop seeing things as a mistake or failure. It's not. It's a learning opportunity. You just learn that path is not right path. It's not the right path to take. Try another path. Staying right where you are is not an option. That's a recipe for struggle. You have to get over the mountain. If you can't climb over, find a way around. What the fuck is going on? Someone's trying shit on you. Black magic shit. Card number 36, listening for truth. Listening for truth. I believe we've entered into Mabon. All right. Rather than pull another card, I'd like to do something with you guys. I'd like to do a little bit of a meditative experience. In this meditative experience, I'd like to correct a little bit of this energy. I'm trying to decide what degree of correction is appropriate. Should it be heavy-handed? Bish. The correction that we need to do right now, should it be heavy-handed? Bish, should I do a correction right now? Yes. Shielding? Yes. Clearing? Yes. Can I fuck shit up? No. Bish, can I fuck shit up just a little bit? No. Bish, do I have to show restraint? Yes. Well, fuck you. Get back in your bag. Get back in your bag. Who are you to give me life advice? We're going to put you in a new bag. Yeah. This is good. Put you in a new bag. Maybe you'll have a new attitude. Okay? So, Bish, are you sure I can't, be heavy-handed? Yes. Can I be heavy-handed? No. Okay. I did just hiss at Bish. Shit. I did not realize I hissed at her. I own that. Sorry, Bish. I'm sorry that I hissed at you. I hissed at her. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's set the intention of the work that I'm going to do right now for everyone present and anyone who watches the recording. This will apply to all of you except for the people who have been intentionally malicious to me at some point. You don't get any more of my energy, and I want to make that very clear. You don't get my energy. You don't get my protection. You don't get jack shit from me. It's not petty. It's proper. Proper. I 100% mean that, and I publicly claim that. You will receive no more energy or assistance from me. I don't care how many times you watch this, but keep watching because it boosts my algorithm. So, for the people who this will apply to, we're going to work on shields, we're going to work on cloaking, and we're going to work on creating a buffer zone. So less of whatever this fuckery is will be actually able to enter your field. We don't need any of that. Unless that's how you learn, like all seriousness, unless that's how you learn through the adversity, through the struggle, then you don't need it. You don't need that experience. Okay? So I want you to breathe very deep and very slow. I'm probably going to come live later today to do expedites. I want you to breathe very deep and very slow. Allow yourself to become centered in your space. Okay? Allow yourself to really breathe deep and slow. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. I'm going to play some music for us. Oh, hold on. I have to turn on the speakers. Hold on. See yourself in a dimly lit space. This space feels very safe. You feel very protected. Just breathe. For those of you sensitive to energy, you may begin to feel like a gentle breeze is blowing. Some might experience it as a cool, gentle breeze. Others might experience it as warmth. Those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel a tingling across the surface of your skin. You might begin to feel emotions rising. Don't stop it. That's your truth being released. Whatever was done is being undone. Some of you might begin to feel mildly dizzy, like you're climbing altitude, I'm raising the frequency of the collective whole, because we deserve to live by a higher standard. Those of you with throat blockages, you might begin to feel sensations in your throat. You might begin to lightly cough. I'm clearing and expanding the throat chakra to facilitate you speaking your truth freely and without fear. Divinity has chosen to share space with us. I'm securing a channel for you to experience. Allow yourself to savor this moment, as I can't maintain this frequency for too long. Divinity is touching your third eye, so you can see your path clearly. Breathe very deep and very slow. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Give yourself a moment. Give yourself some space. Feel your purpose and some level of awareness to it. You were created for so much more than you realize. You don't need to agree. You don't need to understand. You just need to be alive right now. Those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel a sensation of ice fire, tingles, so much emotion. You've always been loved more than you could ever know. Take one more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Allow yourself to come back to center and rejoin me in this space. How do you guys feel? That was beautiful. That was definitely beautiful. Rewatch that as many times as you need to remember how loved you are in every part of your phases, cycles, growth. You are made of love. You came from love. And you're here to reestablish that omni-love. You don't have to be anyone else but you. You are enough. And as life changes, as the world changes, you will grow right along with the world, and your value will grow right along with the needs of the world. You've always been enough, and you've always been loved. So if you guys could please give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys. I stand with you shoulder to shoulder. Together we'll grow. We'll get through everything. Okay? I got to get going. So give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'm going live later on today to do expedites. I hope to see you guys then. I'll be able to work on you personally and give you personal readings then. So I'll see you. Bye, everyone.